29-year-old Tyeesha Mobley was having an issue with one of her sons. Apparently, her 9-year-old had stolen $10 from her purse, and she wanted to find a way to punish him and kind of scare him straight. So she made the terrible, terrible decision of calling the NYPD to teach her son a lesson. Well, that plan backfired after she got arrested and her kids were taken away from her for 4 months. So how did this all go down? Well, she's suing New York, and she's also suing the NYPD over this allegation. According to the report, the 29-year-old Tyeesha Mobley called 911 to ask the police to come to talk to her son, but instead she was arrested, and one of the officers told her, "You black bitches don't know how to take care of your kids."
Okay, you know, we're discussing this story earlier in the day during our production meeting, and Anna says, she decided to scare her kids straight. She calls the cops. I'm like, oh no, there's no way this story ends well. There's no way. Mm-hmm. And then I ask, is she black? Yeah, she's black. I'm like, oh no, for Christ's sake, what have you done, right? And so as you see this story unfold, you'll see, I mean, you already see that race played a huge role in it. Mm-hmm. But it gets worse. Actually, the first 3 guys are all right. The cops come and they're playing along and they try to tell the kids, hey, don't do this. Did you take your mom's money, right?
Yeah.
And then the 4th guy shows up and disaster ensues.
So let me set up the story for you guys. So she says that at first, yes, the cops were doing exactly what she needed them to do, right? There were 4 cops that arrived on the scene, which, by the way, I think is a little ridiculous, right? Given the circumstances, you don't need 4 cops, but nonetheless, 4 cops show up. 3 of them are joking around with the kids, but also trying to let them know, hey, this isn't the way that you do things. You're going to end up, you know, behind our patrol car. We're going to take you to jail. They started asking Tyleke, that's the one who stole the money, what did he take? And he told them. And about 3 officers were joking around with him, telling him, you can't be stealing. You'll wind up going in the police car. And then the 4th cop seemed to be really, really upset that he was called to deal with this situation in the first place. So according to the lawsuit, he said, you black bitches don't know how to take care of your kids. You need to call the kid's father, not us. We can't raise your kids. Why are you wasting our time? We aren't here to raise your kid. Why don't you take your fucking kid and leave?
Yeah, because he was going to be super busy at a donut shop nearby, and they bothered him. This guy's paid to help the community and protect the community. This is how he treats the community, right? Gee, I wonder why communities across the country have issues with some cops. I can't quite tell why. But otherwise, he might have been super busy assaulting another African American, right? Or perhaps tasing them or shooting them. Instead, he had to go and bother this poor lady and her kids. By the way, don't get us wrong. What did the kids, quote unquote, steal? The 9-year-old took $10 out of his mom's purse. Oh, don't call the cops. Don't do it. They're going to look at you and they're going to categorize you just like this guy did. Mm-hmm. Not all of them. If the first 3 were good guys, right? But you're taking a certain percentage chance. Some guy can show up and say, oh, okay, yeah. Your kid, he's a thief. And my first thought is he would have taken the kid into jail, right?
Yep.
Yeah, oh, you called me, I'm a cop. Yeah, this 9-year-old, now that's it. We're putting him in the system, right? Don't, in situations like this, man. How sad has it gotten where we got to tell you, whatever you do, in certain situations, don't call the cops?
So apparently the cop, the 4th angry cop, told her to leave, and so she started to do so, right? When the mother attempted to leave, the officer stopped her and said she was being arrested. When she asked on what grounds, the officer allegedly responded, if you're going to say another fucking word, I'm going to knock your teeth down your throat. Mobley says she was then cuffed and thrown against a squad car and kicked in her leg. She was later treated for her bruises at the hospital. So they took her kids away. Her kids went to Child Protective Services, and so she had to fight to regain custody of the kids. She had to go to court. She was dealing with the judge for over 4 months, and finally the judge decided to drop the case, and she regained custody of her own kids.
Her youngest son suffered a bad burn while he was in foster care. Her other son had multiple asthma attacks. She couldn't see them for 4 months. By the way, we know that she's totally right because the judge at the end, after this whole 4-month ordeal, said, oh, you're absolutely right. Sorry about that. Here's your kids back, right? So now remember, go back to the interaction with the cop. The cop says, okay, leave. She starts to leave. And he arrests her. But I did what you asked me to do. Oh, no, if you say another word, not only will I arrest you and take your kids away, but I'll knock your teeth down your throat. I don't know why we don't trust the cops. I don't know why there's protests in Ferguson. I don't know why there's protests in New York. Look at this. This is in New York. It happened recently.
Yep.
Why would there be protests in New York? It's all Bill de Blasio's fault.
Well, yep.
Come on, man. Come on. By the way, look, people are going to get mad at me for this theory. I think a certain percentage of these cops are pumped up on steroids. They got rage issues, right? And they want to take it out on whoever they can. They're deeply insecure. On this, I think Jimmy Dore is somewhat right. Mm-hmm. Some of them got into it because they wanted to exercise their power. They wanted to be able to tell people, I'm going to kick your teeth in. This is how you black people are, and I'm going to arrest you if you look at me funny. And then they take out their rage. I don't know if it's because of steroids and roid rage, or if they were just born pricks and they decided to be cops so that they could do this to other people. But some percentage of them are like that. Not all of them, not most of them, but some percentage. And they ruin it for everybody else. And hey, listen, if I was a cop, I'd be pissed at those guys. But what do cops do? They rally around them. They go, nope, nope, nope. Every cop is innocent. No cop has ever done anything wrong. Anything wrong. So that's it. We're going to protect them, and they're going to kick your teeth in. They're going to bash your head. They're going to arrest you. They're going to take your kids away. And then we're going to say they're awesome, and anybody who disagrees with us is helping the criminals.
Yeah, look, I don't have any explanation for the good cops who continuously defend the bad cops. But one thing that I will say is you don't even have to go to the speculation of them using steroids. Usually when you give people unmitigated power, they're going to take advantage of it. And that's what's happening right now.
Hey, can I use a Republican idea here? You know, they say, well, the good Muslims didn't stop the bad Muslims, so it's all the Muslims' fault. The moderate Muslims should have spoken up. Right now, in this case, there was a female officer, and she was in the car, and she sees the guy doing this, and she tries to stop him for a second. Mm-hmm. She goes, hey, that was just the mom. It's not. And then he says, nope, I'm arresting her. And what do they do, the rest of the cops? Oh, yeah, of course, Bob, or whatever the fuck your name is. Sure, yeah, ruin that person's life. Yeah, I'm going to protect you. I'm not going to protect the citizen. I'm not going to protect the community. I'm not going to protect that mom who helped for our assistance. I'm not going to protect the kids. Oh, you're a cop. I'm a cop. I'm a cop. You're a cop. All cops are good. I'm going to protect you. Okay? So, I mean, look, we had a great fan of the show. It came out in Austin. God bless him. And he listens to the show and he gets pissed at us when we say all the cops are doing X, Y, Z. I said to him, we don't say all the cops. I just said 1,000 times in this story, not all the cops. But, okay, I mean, again, to use the Republican ideology, aren't the good cops at fault? Why aren't they doing anything about the bad cops? Why doesn't one of the other cops sitting there go, hey, dude, don't arrest her, man? If I'm there, I go, hey, prick. Look, if it's my friends, like Jesus, JR, Anna, Steve, whoever it is, I pull Steve aside and say, bring it the fuck down, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you arresting her for, right? But no. With cops are 1,000,000% right in all instances, and the whole world is united against them. So you just let them do whatever you want, ruin people's lives, and then you circle the wagons.